a week.
You're listening to WTOP.
WTOP News.
News happens here.
After nearly a century on the air, CBS News' historic radio news service will soon be off the air for good. The network made the announcement earlier this year, citing economic challenges as audiences shift to other platforms on digital and podcasts. The radio service for CBS launched in 1927, and in about 10 minutes at 11:31, CBS Radio News will air its very last newscast. We talked about the significance of all this with longtime CBS Radio News anchor Steve Kathan.
The history of the place was really what hit me first. It goes back to 1927. It brought America through the war years. The history of the place is really something, and to be a part of that is amazing. And I thought about those early days and how they had to figure things out and basically invent broadcast journalism on the fly.
And as we continue along in history, when you look at podcasting and everything like that, the spoken word that people listen to, CBS Radio News, it played a really big role in the start of just that, listening to people talk about information. It was the start of that.
Certainly was. And first it was just bulletins as they happened. And then someone had the idea of, well, we should do a summary of what happened today. It was World War II era when this sort of came about, when there were developments all over the globe. And CBS was lucky to have some great people that Murrow put together in these foreign capitals, and they would go live around the world in these broadcasts. Really amazing when you think the technology back then was primitive and everybody was brand new to it. And now, of course, stuff like that can be done instantaneously with barely a second thought. They had to really decide in what direction to go with this, and they went full bore into news and broadcast news, and it graduated onto television when that came to be. So it's really something that evolved over time, and as you say, with podcasts and other forms of information, it's taken on a whole new life in the internet era.
How about you yourself over the decades you've spent at CBS Radio? What are you looking back on now that really captures your time there?
It goes really from the first time I walked in the place, my writing test to join the network. Didn't even know if I had a job yet. Douglas Edwards walks in to anchor the 2 p.m. hourly broadcast, and it's like, wow. You have to go back a ways to know who he was, but he was really, before Cronkite, one of the huge people at CBS News. And to have something like that hit you on your first day, really something. And working for CBS News, political coverage is what I remember most. The Obama victory in Grant Park, happened to be there for that, his inauguration as well. 9/11 was a day unlike any other for anybody in radio. You were on the air all the time, every 5 minutes with a new report. It was a grueling day, and one that was a gut punch because of the gravity of the story.
So what do you think, Steve, in 2026, when you look out into the landscape of all of the options that people have to get information, to listen to information, what is lost with CBS Radio going away?
Well, we lose a big piece of history, and certainly a network that brought American history as it unfolded over the decades to the American people. And I think on a day-to-day basis, you lose a piece of information, the consistency, the great presentation, the writing. I think there's a lot that CBS News brought to the table on the radio that was unique and really set the standard for a lot of other people to do their jobs.
That is longtime CBS Radio News anchor Steve Kathan. We will be carrying here on WTOP the very last radio news broadcast from CBS. That's coming up at 11:31. So very soon. It's 11:24 right now. Sports on WTOP brought to you by Amentum.